Once upon a time, in a sunny little village, filled with flowers and laughter, there lived a curious little girl named Jade. Jade was fascinated by all creatures great and small, from the tiniest ants, marching in a line, to the fluffiest caterpillars, munching on leaves. She loved every creature, every bug, and every bird, except for one: bees. Jade couldn't stand the way bees buzzed around, and the thought of them stinging her made her shudder. She much preferred the gentle ladybirds and the soft, fluffy caterpillars. One bright afternoon, while Jade was sitting at her desk, absorbed in her homework, a buzzing sound filled the room. A bee had found its way into her home. With a loud yelp, Jade jumped up and dashed to find her mummy, but the bee seemed to follow her every step. In a flurry of panic, Jade darted behind the sofa, ducked behind doors, and zigzagged around chairs. But the bee persisted, buzzing curiously around her. Finding herself cornered with nowhere left to hide, Jade curled up into a ball, tucking her legs into her hands and hiding her face. Tears began to well up in her eyes as she braced for the sting she was sure was coming. Just then, the bee gently settled on her jumper, and Jade held her breath. At that moment, Jade's mummy returned from the garden, and with a gentle hand, she scooped the bee into a glass. "Look, Jade," her mummy said softly, "there's nothing to be frightened of." Jade peeked through her fingers to see the bee calmly exploring the glass. Her mummy explained that the bee had been attracted to the beautiful flower sewn on Jade's jumper, not to sting her, but because it was curious and perhaps even a little friendly. As Jade studied the bee trapped in the glass, she noticed its tiny legs twitching nervously and its wings fluttering. She realized then that the bee was more scared of her and her mummy than she was of it. A wave of empathy washed over Jade, and she felt a newfound connection to the little creature. "Let's go and let the bee outside to the real flowers," her mummy suggested. Together, they stepped into the garden, and with a little tilt of the glass, the bee flew out, buzzing happily towards a bed of flowers. Jade watched it go, feeling a mix of relief and wonder. And so, dear listener, Jade learned an important lesson that day. Sometimes the things we fear are not out to harm us, but are simply misunderstood. By looking beyond our fears, we can discover the beauty in all creatures and learn that they are often more scared of us than we are of them. Good night, little dreamer. As you close your eyes and drift into sleep, remember that kindness and understanding can turn fear into friendship. May your dreams be filled with the beauty of all creatures, great and small, buzzing bees included.